Good morning and welcome to Ponds Forge International Sports Centre for the first of 22 sessions this week at the Aquatics GB Next Gen Championships. Our first session of the week is men's 1500 metres freestyle, as our officials make their way into position and we are almost ready to begin. As I said, 22 sessions to come over the next 7 days. It's a great opportunity for all of these swimmers to learn about championship swimming, learning all sorts of techniques and methods in the hope of helping them to deliver and swim their fastest possible times at the biggest events. So that's how the meet is set up. And it's a chance for everyone to practice and figure out how to deliver when it matters. So we have 10 heats of the men's 1500 metres freestyle to come in this session. If you haven't seen these championships before, let me explain that the swimmers are swimming in different age groups. And our first heat will be swimmers who are aged 13 and 14. There are no finals in this event, no finals in men's 1500 metres freestyle. All of the medals will be won during this session. We have 5 swimmers competing in Heat 1. And here they are. Lane 2 will be Amrit Lally for Bexley. Lane 3, Jack Handley for Ren 96. Lane 4 is Albion Debruschi for City of Liverpool. Lane 5, Benjamin Piscopo for City of Peterborough. And lane 6, Casimobi Harris Eza for Barnet Coptal. And look at the age groups on the right of the screen there. 13 and 14, these swimmers. They are competing in the same age group in this competition. This is the 13s and 14 swimmers in this age group. And I will keep you up to date on how that works as we go along. This then is Heat 1 of 10 of men's 1500 metres freestyle. And the first thing to say is that it's very difficult to swim fast in the morning session, especially in the early heats. So let's get behind these swimmers and hope they can deliver very good performances. And this really plays into what I said about it's a chance for swimmers to practice their methods and what works for them. Because swimming early mornings in these heats, it's crucial that everybody learns how to get the best out of themselves in these situations. So it's 30 lengths of the pool. And closest to us in lane 2 is Amrit Lally. He's leading. And in second place at the moment, Jack Handley in lane 3 for Ren 96. And Amrit will turn first then in lane 2 in 61.16 seconds. Followed into the turn there by Jack Handley. And third at the turn in lane 5 was Benjamin Piscopo, followed by Albion Debruschi, and then Casimobi Harris Eza. So out in front at the moment, Amrit Lally. He is a 14-year age group swimmer. Turning there 134.89. Then Jack Handley. And then after those two, swimming pretty close together at the moment, Albion Debruschi, Benjamin Piscopo and Casimobi Harris Eza. Now, all of these swimmers are capable of swimming under 18 minutes. So that's our first target, really, for everyone to try and get under that 18-minute mark. And at 200 metres, Amrit Lally in 2:09.5 is currently on course, certainly to swim under that time. To give you an idea of the kind of time that we'll be looking at for a medal for these swimmers, it's under 17 minutes really to be challenging for a medal. But all of these swimmers qualified by swimming well in their regional championships earlier in the year in these events. It's Lally leading from Hanley, then Debruschi, Harris, Eza and Piscopo. And we are coming up now to the 300-metre mark. So 1/5 of the way through this race. And Amrit Lally, then let's have a look at the split time here. 3:18.71. He's swimming at about 68 seconds per 100 metres at the moment. And he's looking good here, Amrit Lally. Long stroke, good rhythm. Not kicking particularly hard. That's a 2-beat kick, 4-beat kick. Relying on the arm strength to power him through the water at this stage of the race. Still swimming at around 68 seconds per 100 metres. So we'll keep an eye on the split times and see how consistent he can be. He's increasing his gap really over the rest of the swimmers here with every passing length of the pool. This is the 400-metre turn coming up now for Amrit. (4:27.95), slipping back a little bit now towards 1 minute 10 seconds per 100. Still looking good, breathing to his right, always to the same side. And this is where it gets tough. Swimming out on his own, nobody to measure himself against. 5:03 at the turn for Amrit, and he is slowing down a little bit now. Second at the turn in lane 4, Albion Debruschi. And we need to keep an eye on these swimmers because at 400 metres, 500 metres, somebody is bound to change gear and start to come through. (500-metre turn then, 1/3 of the way through. 5:37 for Amrit Lally. He's picked up a little bit on the previous 100 metres. And Albion Debruschi was second at that turn in 5:47.06. But the gap between first and second is still increasing. So Amrit Lally is still extending his advantage over everybody else. (6:12) there at the turn for Lally. And then just coming into the turn now, Albion Debruschi. And in third place at that turn, Kassiamobi, Harris, Eza. And the other swimmers in this heat are starting to pick up the speed. Amrit Lally has a long way to go on his own, and maybe the others can close this gap. 6:48.5 at the turn there for Lally. And watch these swimmers coming into the turn now then. It's going to be Albion de Bruschi turning second, and his time's just flashed up on the screen. You can see it bottom left there, 6:58.22 at that turn. So by and large, all of the swimmers in the pool now are swimming at the same pace. The gap between Lally and the rest isn't changing. It's around 10 seconds. $7:22 there. And then coming in lane 4, let's keep an eye on de Bruschi's time at this turn. 7:33. Lally has actually accelerated a little bit in this last 100 metres. The 700 metre turn then. And Lally turns in 7:57.56. He's got 800 metres to go. And Amrit Lally at the moment is on target here for a good personal best time. So to give you some context really of these swimmers, they are ranked between 14 and 18 in their age group. So if Amrit Lally does a good personal best here, he would get himself in the top 10 for 13 and 14 years, you would expect. And he's coming up now, that was the halfway turn. We're coming up now to 800 metres. At this current pace, Amrit Lally is going to swim about 8 minutes and 10 seconds, I'd have thought, for his remaining time, which would give him a time around 17:15. That's a big personal best. And 17:15 would bring him right up in the 13-14 years. This could be a medal challenging performance with a time like that. Of course, everything depends on whether he can keep this pace up. Turning there, Amrit in 9:41.23. So he's keeping this pace going. Second at that turn was de Bruschi in 9:56.66. So the gap between first and second increased to 15 seconds. We're looking for something around 10:15 at this turn. Yes, 10:16.08 there. 600 metres to go. So Lally out in front then. Can he keep this going? This is a really, really strong swim. And the question mark really is just, can Amrit keep this pace up all the way to the end? Still got 6 minutes of swimming to go or thereabouts. 10:50 at that turn. This is going to be challenging for a medal, we would expect now, for the 13-14 year age group. Certainly going to be pushing into the top 10, you would expect a swim like this. So Amrit Lally really has got his preparation absolutely right here to come and swim the morning session, the very first heat, and be on course for a really big personal best. His personal best time, 17:54. He is going to smash that time the way he's going. It's the 1050 turn then. And Amrit is still swimming at the same pace, around 109 per 100 metres. And here come the rest. The gap still increasing. Very impressive this from Amrit Lally. There'll be 400 metres left at this turn then for Amrit. 12:33 at the turn. He's actually accelerating slightly now. Into the final 400. We said we want to see swimmers go under 18 minutes in this heat. This is going to be much closer to 17 minutes than 18 minutes. Final time. Amrit turning in 13:07. And then coming in now towards the turn. Second at the moment is Kasyamobi Harris Eza. He's not in our shot, but he's moved up the field into second place now. Harris Eza. 300 metres left now at the turn for Amrit Lally. 6 lengths of the pool to go. Turning there in 13:42. So this is going to be a low 17-minute swim for Amrit. So Amrit now coming up to the 1,250 metre turn. 14:16. He's still at that same pace. 68, 69 seconds per 100 metres. So if we calculate, he's going to swim the final 200 metres in around 2 minutes 16 at this pace. He's going to be just outside 17 minutes probably with this swim. Turning there in 14:51. No question this will be a personal best. Amrit Lally's PB is 17:54. He will have time to swim another length of the pool in 17:54 the way he's going. He'll actually be able to swim 15:50 at that time at this pace. $150 to go. 3 more lengths then for Amrit Lally. This is going to be a huge PB. 15:25 at that turn. There are no signs at all of him losing energy, losing rhythm, losing his stroke. He is in control here. The first heat on the first day. Amrit Lally is delivering this in a morning session. So really hats off to him for this. Preparation absolutely perfect. 2 lengths of the pool to go as he takes the bell. 16 minutes and 4/100ths at the turn. It's going to be around 17:10, maybe just under, let's see. It's a huge PB. 17:10 would put him up into the top 5 for the 13-14 age group, and it may even challenge for a medal. 1 length of the pool left for Amrit Lally. Turning there in 16:34. We're looking at a time around 17:10, just under 17:10 probably here for Amrit Lally. It's been an absolutely wonderful swim, a brilliant way to get these championships underway this week here at Ponds Forge. Very, very impressive. All done with nobody to measure himself against, just keeping his rhythm going. keeping his stroke, keeping his form. It's going to be underneath 17.10. It's a huge PB. His personal best up to now, 17.54. Look at that, 17.06.55. Well done, Amrit Lally from Bexley. Brilliant, brilliant swim. 17.06 is going to be, you'd expect, in the top 5 or thereabouts for the 13-14 age group. Coming in second place now is Kassiamobi Harris Eza in lane 6, and he's got a PB of 17.51, so this is a personal best as well. Brilliant swim. Albion De Bruschi also coming in with a PB there in 17.39. And fourth place, Jack Handley. And then coming in fifth is Benjamin Piscopo. Our first 3 swimmers there, all swimming PBs. And that is tough to do in the first heat of a morning session. So well done everyone who got PBs in that heat, but especially to the heat winner, Amrit Lally, 17.06.55. Almost 50 seconds faster than he swum the 1,500 metres before. And those first 3 swimmers there, all swimming in personal best time. In fact, the first 4 all swimming PBs. On we go to heat number 2. And our swimmers in Heat 2, from the bottom of your screen in lane 0, that is Lewis G for Barnet Coptal. Then in lane 1 in the white cap, James Lee for Derby Excel. Lane 2 is Mark Learcus for Hillingdon. Lane 3 for City of Liverpool is Ethan Dwyer. Lane 4 for Warrington Warriors, Ethan Craven. Lane 5 is Daniel Lawrence for Guildford City. In lane 6 for Killer Whales is Sean Mooney. Lane 7, Frederick O'Mell for Camden Swiss Cottage. Lane 8 is Oscar Hussey for City of Leeds. And at the top of the picture, in the yellow cap for City of Leeds, it's Leo Lee. And leading here as we come up to the 100-metre mark, in lane 3 is Ethan Dwyer, closely followed by Daniel Lawrence and Ethan Craven. Once again, all of these swimmers are in the 13-14 age group, so the same age group as we saw in Heat 1. That age group differential will come into play a bit later on in the later heats, and you'll see what I mean when we have the 15s, the 16s and the 17s and the 18s and overs, because they will all be swimming in different competitions in effect, although side by side in the pool. And we'll explain that as we go. But our 3 leaders here, in lane 5, Daniel Lawrence, lane 4, Ethan Craven, and lane 3, Ethan Dwyer. So it's worth remembering that all of these swimmers are competing against Amrit Lally, in effect, from the previous heat. Coming up then to the 200-metre mark, and things really start to settle down at this point in the race. First to the turn then, in lane 4, Ethan Craven. Then in 3, Ethan Dwyer. Lane 5, Daniel Lawrence. Fourth at that turn was Mark Learcus. And actually, Learcus and Sean Mooney in 6 turned in the same time there, 2:13.66. And you can see the difference now, because in Heat 1, Amrit Lally swam on his own effectively. But here we've got 5 swimmers who are going to help push each other and pull each other along. And that generally tends to lead to faster times. And first and foremost, we're hoping to see personal best times for these swimmers. Nobody in this heat has swum as fast as we saw in the last heat from Amrit Lally. So that gives you a real yardstick as to the standard in this heat and how well Amrit Lally swam in the previous heat. 321.2. The leader, Ethan Craven, at that turn. And at the moment, this is roughly the same pace that we saw from Amrit Lally in that previous heat. So swimmers on course for something around the 17:10 mark, although it's very early to say. And 17:10 for any of these swimmers would be a personal best. Ethan Craven just starting to open a fractional lead. And keep an eye on lane 2, Mark Liakas. He was fourth at that turn, but he is now coming up. He's swimming just as quickly as the leader. So Liakas, the nearest one to us of those leading four, is starting to accelerate. This is the 400-metre turn then. So it's Craven, Lawrence and Liakas up now to second, ahead of Dwyer. Daniel Lawrence also picking up the pace in lane 5 now into first place. So Lawrence may well turn first at 450 metres. Although Craven just coming into the wall a little bit harder now. He's going to hit the wall hard, Craven. Lawrence does get to the wall. Well, 7/100ths ahead, but what a turn. What a turn there for Daniel Lawrence. Only 700ths of a second between those leading two swimmers at the wall. And now look, it's half a body length. That's a massive turn from Daniel Lawrence at 450 metres. Craven coming back in the open water, but watch this turn. Watch Lawrence and Craven at this turn. Huge turn from Lawrence. Now it's a body length off that wall. Very, very impressive turns from Daniel Lawrence. And they are now starting to make a difference. Mark Liakas in lane 2. Also right in the running here. Here we go, 550 metres. Watch the turn again. It's a body length difference going into the wall between Lawrence and the rest. Huge push off the wall. A couple of dolphin kicks. And that gap increases. And I would say the gap isn't really increasing while they're swimming. It's happening off the wall. It's happening in that first 5 to 10 metres of every 50. So into the wall then, Lawrence. And to give you an idea, Amrit Lally would be in second place in this race at the moment. He'd be between our first and second swimmers. So bear that in mind, that at the moment, Daniel Lawrence is on course to be the fastest 13, 14-year-old. And in second place, Mark Liakas is trying to get into the top 2. Here we go then, another big turn for Lawrence. Hits the wall hard. Lawrence then 7:21. And we're coming up to the 700-metre mark. And still, I would say now that Matt Liakas is probably just going quicker than Amrit Lally from the previous heat. Looking at those times, Amrit Lally at this point in the race would be in third place. So he has slipped down into third place for the 13, 14-year-olds. from the previous heat. And now Mark Liekes is fighting his way up to get level with Daniel Lawrence, I would say. We're looking at a time under 17:06, I would say, for our two leaders. Liekes is going to take the lead at this turn. Well, he didn't quite. It was only a hundredth of a second, did it? But look again, Lawrence off the wall, springs off the wall and gains half a body length. And then between the walls, Liekes is coming back. And I would say now in lane 4, Ethan Craven is around the speeds that Amrit Lally set in the first heat. So Amrit Lally would be 3rd or 4th in this heat at the moment. That's the 800-metre turn then. Lawrence, huge off the wall again. Gets about 7 or 8 metres underwater off the wall. So these two now out in front pushing each other. And Ethan Craven as well is keeping right in there. These three swimmers are going to be in the top 4 for 13s and 14s after this heat. We still have 3 swimmers to come in their age group in later heats. So these are potential medal swims, potential. And then we'll see in heat 6 when we have our next 13-14 swimmer where that leaves things. Still a long way to go though, 600 metres. A swimmer could tire, a swimmer could accelerate. A long way to go. It's Liekes out in front then. 10, 12, 89 at the turn. Amrit Lally would be just about level, I would say, looking at those splits with Ethan Craven now. So Amrit Lally would be 3rd in this heat, 3rd or 4th. Still more than 1/3 of the race to go. And Mark Liekes is looking very impressive. Liekes, not only is he out in front here, he's extending his lead. He's swimming, I would say, about 2 seconds quicker per 100 metres than Amrit Lally did in Heat 1. So the way this is going to be close to sub 17 minutes. Liekes is on course here for about 17 minutes. And as we've mentioned before, swimming a fast time in the morning session is something that has to be admired. So well done to all 3 of these swimmers, whatever happens, whatever their times are. These are great performances. They're best ever swims, and they're being delivered at the big event in the summer. So they've got their preparation absolutely right. All of these swimmers who swim PBs have done a brilliant job. Let's keep an eye on the clock then. 450 metres to go, 11:54 at the turn. Looking at those splits, Amrit Lally would be 3rd in this heat. But Liekes, this is going to be a medal challenging performance. This is an opportunity to get under 17 minutes. 400 metres to go at this turn. 12:29. It's going to be just outside 17 minutes, I think. Let's see. I think 17 minutes is probably our big benchmark here. Come on, Mark Liekes. Let's get under 17 minutes. That would be a brilliant achievement. Daniel Lawrence doing really well too, it has to be said, and so to Ethan Craven. All 3 of these swimmers are really delivering great swims when it matters. These are all going to be swimming PBs, big PBs as well. At this turn then, we will have 6 lengths of the pool to come. We're going to be looking at something like 13:37, I think, at the turn. Yep, 13:37.14. Okay, so Liakas is swimming in 68 seconds per 100 meters at the moment. It's basically going to be very, very close to 17 minutes. Daniel Lawrence going very well too. Daniel Lawrence's PB, 17:26.55. He's going to be under 17:10 here if he keeps up this pace. And he's got brilliant turns, of course. That's Lawrence, and then Ethan Craven turning third. And Ethan Craven's going to be very close to his personal best. Amrit Lally would be just about level, you know, with Daniel Lawrence right now. So Amrit Lally's probably looking at second or third place in the 13s and 14s after this. 4 lengths of the pool to go. 14:45 at the turn. And at the current pace, Mark Liakas is going to swim around 2:16 for the final 200. Come on, let's get under 17 minutes here, Mark Liakas. That would be a brilliant achievement. Let's get under 17 minutes. He's really into his rhythm. No sign of slowing down. We want to be under 15:19 at this turn if we can. Yeah, just outside 15:19.05. Second into that turn, Daniel Lawrence. And I have to reiterate, Daniel Lawrence is swimming around the same pace as Amrit Lally from the previous heat. So Amrit Lally is going to be second or third in the 13s and 14s after this, and that with 3 swimmers still to come in this age group. Right, 100 meters to go here. And Mark Liakas has just slowed down a little. 15:52. It's going to be very, very close then at 15:52, and he's swimming 68 seconds per 100 meters. It's going to be very close to 17 minutes. It's a huge PB, whatever happens here. Mark Liakas from Hillingdon, 14-year age group. And he's coming up here to lap James Lee. So he's got a benchmark coming into this wall. He's swimming about 34 seconds per 50. It's going to be right on the 17-minute mark here for Mark Liakas. It's Liakas against the clock. It's Liakas against the 17-minute barrier. How close can he get? Liakas in the black cap then. Holding on to his pace. He'll be giving everything he's got now. He's turned on the taps. He's got 10 seconds to get to the wall and hopefully get under 17 minutes. It's a massive PB. Whether he gets under 17 minutes or not, it's a huge PB. It's a brilliant swim. And it is 16:59.94. He did it by 6/100ths of a second. Well done, Mark Liakas. Daniel Lawrence second, then 17:08.46. It's a massive PB for him. That is a PB by 18 seconds. Ethan Craven, 17:12. That's a 6-second PB. Brilliant swim. Fantastic. Congratulations to all 3 of those swimmers. Personal best times delivered on a morning session. And I don't know if you can see there in lane 2, Mark Liakas, he's got his hands on his head. He can't believe the time he swam. Cannot believe it. Look at that. He's delighted. Under 17 minutes. Coming in fourth there, Ethan Dwyer, you will have seen. Fifth to finish, Oscar Hussey. There are a couple of PBs there as well for other swimmers. So well done. Well done to everyone who swam a PB. It's difficult to do it in the morning session. We know that. And Mark Liakas, absolutely outstanding. And it's worth pointing out, of course, Amrit Lally from Heat 1 would have been second in that heat. So he is currently in second in the rankings for the 13s and 14s. But we do still have 3 swimmers from the 13s and 14s scheduled to swim later in coming heats. So we wait for confirmation of the result, official confirmation. Here we go. Mark Liakas, under 17 minutes, a personal best time there to win the heat of 38 seconds. Well done to him, and well done to other swimmers who got PBs there, Daniel Lawrence and Ethan Craven. On to Heat 3, and the swimmers in this heat are mostly in the 15-year age group, and we have one 18 and over swimmer. Our swimmers in this heat, reading from the top of your picture, that's Joshua Kicks for Killer Whales in the white cap. Also in a white cap, one lane closer to us, starting very quickly, that's Julian O'Croy for Delton Dolphins. In lane 7 for Garriock, that's Innes Gow. In 6, Finley Byrne for City of Liverpool. Lane 5 is Jeffrey Lang for City of Leeds. Lane 4, Satoshi Baggett for Abingdon Vale. Lane 3, Callum Davis for Ellesmere College. Lane 2 is Oscar Earthroll for City of Brighton and Hove. Lane 1, 2 lanes from the bottom of the picture, is Tom Holt for City of Sunderland. And closest to us for Reading, that is Finn Hemmant. 9 swimmers in this heat. 9 of the 10 swimmers are in the 15-year age group. They are the first 15-year swimmers that we've seen swimming in these heats. And in lane 7, we have one swimmer from the 18s and overs, and that is Innes Gow for Garriock. And Innes actually was turning in 10th place at the wall there. So our leader here, Julian O'Croy. And in effect, all of these swimmers are in a fresh competition. We're not mixing with any 13, 14-year swimmers from the previous heat. This is a new competition, really. Most of these swimmers in the 15-year age group. And let me remind you, there are no finals in the 1,500 metres freestyle. We will have the medal winners decided by these heat swims. So the fastest swimmer in each age group gets the gold medal. Second and third as follows. So that's why we have potential medal swims in any heat. In this heat, Satoshi Baggett in lane 4 is the 9th fastest 15-year-old entered for the competition. So we are looking for an extraordinary swim from anyone here to challenge for a medal in the 15-year age group. But then putting that aside, 9 of these swimmers, the 9 15-year-old swimmers, they're in the top 17 swimmers in the country for their age group for men's 1,500 metres freestyle. So every swimmer we'll see over the course of the coming week is at a very, very high standard. Tom Holt out in front at 250 metres, 241.3. Callum Davis was second at the turn there, 242.29, followed by Julian O'Croy in 242.6. Coming up to the 300 metre turn then, we will still have 24 lengths of the pool to come. Tom Holt out in front, 315.2. And then Callum Davis in 316.6. None of these swimmers have swum under 17 minutes before in this heat, so that would be the target. Having seen a sub 17-minute swim in the previous heat. All of these swimmers will be aiming to emulate that. And anyone who gets under 17 minutes in this heat, well, that will be a PB of over 10 seconds. Coming up now to the 400-metre turn then. And Tom Holt looking strong. 4:23.3 ahead of Julian Ocroy. And this is low 17-minute pace for all of these swimmers. Once again, it's very helpful that they're pushing each other along. We don't have anybody yet really swimming out on their own. Although Tom Holt would love to do that, I'm sure. He'd love to get away from everyone. Tom Holt out in front then. The gap, 2.5 seconds between Holt and Ocroy. Holt then coming up to 500 metres, 1/3 of the way through this heat. And he's settled into his rhythm now. About 68.5 seconds for 100 metres for Tom Holt at the moment. And Satoshi Bagger in lane 4 is starting to come back here. He's third at the moment. He is closing the gap. Watch those splits. Bagger at the moment, 2.69 seconds it was at that last turn between Bagger in third and Holt the leader. What's it going to be here at this turn? Well, it's now 3.3, so actually Bagger slipped back and Holt has increased his lead. This could turn into a single swimmer race again here. Tom Holt is moving away. Turning there in 6:39. So Holt still swimming around the same pace as we saw in the previous heat. We're looking at around the 17-minute mark, the way things are going. But we're 10 minutes away from that, so there's still an awful lot of swimming to go. Holt, he seems to turn a long way from the wall. I wonder if he could get a little bit closer and get a bigger push. But between the walls, he is looking absolutely brilliant. Long stroke, very efficient. Doesn't look like he's using too much energy, not tiring himself out. Kicking really quite deeply. Long way from the wall. He really seems to reach for the wall. Look, his head pops up before the flags when he comes out of the turn. And you'll see some swimmers get the full body length underwater past the flags before they get into their swim. So this looks like a very, very good swim for our leader, Tom Holt. And you'd expect with this sort of swim to be getting into probably the top, possibly the top 5 for 15-year-olds. The winner of this heat will definitely be in the top 10. We've only got 8 swimmers left to come for the 15 age group after this. So we've just passed the halfway mark. Tom Holt in 8:20.99. And he's still swimming at that same pace of around 68 seconds per 100 meters. So he'll be turning here in about 8:55, 8:54. Yeah, 8:54.93. Picking up the pace slightly now. We've gone past halfway. Tom Holt just accelerating a little bit over that last 50. Can he keep that up? He wants to go, if he's under 9:28 here at this turn, then he is accelerating. Let's have a look. Under 9:28 would be a sign that he's getting quicker. Well, almost exactly on 9:28, so yeah, just a fraction quicker. So Tom Holt out in front. This will be the 900-metre turn. 12 lengths of the pool to come for Tom Holt. And nobody is closing the gap on him. That was a little bit slower, that last 50. Just a little bit slower. Finley Byrne is in second place at the moment in lane 6, and he's actually coming back. And so too Satoshi Baga. They are closing the gap when you look at those splits. And there's still time for one of those swimmers, Byrne, Okroy, Baga, to perhaps get back here and close the gap. Look at the top of the picture there, Finley Byrne. Tom Holt turns in 10:36.8. And actually, he has increased his lead over that last 50. But Satoshi Baga in 4 is swimming at just the same pace now as Tom Holt. So Baga could come back in the remaining 500 metres. It's not a foregone conclusion yet for Tom Holt. Second at the turn then, Finley Byrne. Look at the splits. Oh, he lost half a second over that last 50, but Satoshi Baga is getting closer to Finley Byrne. Baga probably going to get on level terms with Finley Byrne over the next 200 metres, I would expect. So that's the race for second place in this heat. But our leader, way out in front then, Tom Holt, still maintaining that strong pace, 11:45 at the turn. Finley Byrne has taken 0.6 of a second off Holt over that last 50. And Baga's actually slipped back a little bit. The gap between first and second, as you look at it there on the clock, 6 seconds. Finley Byrne could still make a move. Holt at the turn there, 12:19. Keep an eye on the clock. Finley Byrne turning, 12:26. So the gap now 6.8 seconds. Tom Holt, when he looks at these splits at the end of this, I think he's going to find he swims a little bit slower going from left to right and quicker going right to left. So Holt at this turn, 12:52. And then Byrne, is he going to close the gap from 6.8 seconds? No, it's got bigger, 7.8 now. So Tom Holt is actually moving away from the rest now. We will have 6 lengths of the pool left to come at this turn. Tom Holt then. Turning there in 13:27. 300 metres to go. He's looking at about 68.5 seconds per 100. How close can he get here to 17 minutes? That's going to be our question. The PB for Tom Holt, 17:15. And he's probably going to beat that by at least 10 seconds, I would say. So this is another brilliant morning swim that we're watching. We'll have 200 metres to go at the turn. If he's going to get under 17 minutes, he really needs to turn in about 14:42. He's going to be well inside that pace. So I think we are looking at a sub 17 minute swim here for Tom Holt. And his PB, remember, 17:15. So Tom Holt, I think, is going to get under 17 minutes here. This is the fastest swim we've seen so far. He will put himself in first place for the 15-year-olds. Remember, there are 8 more 15-year-olds still to come in later heats. Three lengths of the pool to come then. And it is going to be a sub 17-minute swim for Tom Holt, you would expect. Finley Byrne in second place has a PB of 17:13, and I think he is on course to just about get under that. So our first two swimmers here on course for PBs. 2 lengths of the pool to come. Holt turning then in 15:43. He could be looking at something like 17:50, 17:52. What's he got left? How much energy is left in the tank, Tom Holt? For 16:52 would be quicker than anybody in the next heat has ever swum. So that would be a big leap forward for Tom Holt. Turning then in 16:17. And this is going to be around 16:50 then for Tom Holt, bringing it home. Huge PB. His best time prior to today, 17:15.4. He's going under 17 minutes. He's going to be well inside 17 minutes. It's going to be around 16:50. Here we go then. Tom Holt, what time can you record here? Give it everything you've got in the last 5 metres. Is it 16:50? Yes, it is. 16:50.63. 25-second personal best. Well done, Tom Holt. Finley Byrne coming in then. His PB before today was 17:13. That's a 13-second PB for Finley. Satoshi Bag, 17:03. Also a PB by 7 seconds in third place there. Jeffrey Langer, 17:05. That's a PB by 7 seconds. Julian Ockroy, 17:05, his finishing time there. That's a PB by over 10 seconds. Brilliant swim. Oscar Earthroll, 17:14 then. And that's just a second outside his previous best. Finn Hemnant, that's a PB for him in 7th place in lane 0, knocking a second off his previous best. So PBs there for, I think, 6 of our first 7 swimmers. That has to be everybody's target. Well done, everybody who got a personal best in that. And especially well done to Tom Holt, 16:50.63. 25 seconds quicker than he'd ever swum the 1,500 metres freestyle before. We move on to heat 4. And swimmers here are in 3 different age groups, 15s, 16s and 18s and overs. Our swimmers here then from the far side. In the red cap there for City of Sunderland, Archie Maguire, a teammate of Tom Holtz, who just swam that 1650. In lane 8 then is Adam O'Neill for Bedford. In 7, Finlay Godden for Nuneaton and Bedworth. Lane 6, Harry Osborne for City of Sheffield. Lane 5, Callum Byrne for City of Liverpool. In 4, Charlie Morgan for Teddington. Lane 3, Aaron Kane for Wickham District. Lane 2, Samuel Ruff for City of Glasgow. In lane 1, Janos Shepley for Team Ipswich. And in lane 0, nearest to us for Thanet, that is Charlie King. You will have seen when we started the race, when we had the list of swimmers, that we have swimmers in the 15-year age group in this heat. 6 of them. And they are, of course, swimming against Tom Holt from the previous heat. So we'll bear that in mind as this heat progresses. On the far side of the pool there, Archie Maguire. He is one of those 15-year-old swimmers. And, of course, he's a teammate of Tom Holtz. So it's Maguire leading. Second at the turn then, Janos Shepley. And third at the turn, Adam O'Neill. So it's Maguire out in front as the race settles down at the 200-metre mark. Maguire on the far side and Shepley on the near side, first and second. Swimmers in this heat have never swum under 17 minutes. And most of them will be hoping to swim just as fast as Tom Holt did in the previous heat. And I would say we're looking at split times now that say they are on course to do exactly that. We'll see how the race settles down over the next 150 metres or so. Then we'll start to really get an idea of the pace these swimmers settle into. At the moment, looking at those splits, this is the quickest heat we've seen so far. And it's consistently quick from these swimmers. Archie Maguire coming in first place then to the 300-metre mark. 1/5 of the way through this race. Turning in 3:14.1. And things are settling down now to suggest that we can have several swimmers here going around that 16:50 mark. I would say we've got 6 swimmers at the moment who are around that pace. Maguire turning there, 3:47.54. He'd increased his lead over Janos Shepley by 0.4 of a second there. To give you a bit of context, Tom Holt from the previous heat would be second, I would say, looking at those splits in this heat. So Archie Maguire would be ahead of that 16:50 pace at the moment that was set in the previous heat. Maguire then, 4:20.97 at the turn. I think Tom Holt was around 4:23 at that turn in the last heat, so that's around the pace that Janos Shepley is swimming at the moment. So Maguire is significantly ahead of his teammate from the previous heat at the moment. And remember, they are in the same age group. Janos Shepley at the bottom of the picture, also in the 15 years age group. Charlie Morgan in lane 4, turning third. He's in the 16-year age group. So It's a different competition for him. Fourth place at the turn, Harry Osborne. He is in the 15-year age group. We will have 20 lengths of the pool to go at the next turn. Archie Maguire out in front. What will his time be at this turn? 5:27.95. Tom Holt turned in 5:31 at 500 metres in the last heat, so he would be in second place at the moment, but there is his City of Sunderland teammate Archie Maguire out in front. And after this heat, we only have 3 more 15-year-old swimmers to come. So this is Archie Maguire challenging for a medal in the 15-year age group. This could be a medal swim. He will have to wait and see how the 3 15-year-old swimmers swim in later heats, of course, before we know. But that is the sort of pace Archie Maguire is swimming at right now. Maguire then, coming up to 600 metres. And you'll get an idea of the gap he's opening up over the rest now. Maguire turning there, 6:35. Holt turned in 6:38 in the previous heat there at 600 metres, so Holt would be in second place right now. Tom Holt might be challenging for a medal as well in the 15-year age group. So we're looking there at Archie Maguire. His PB is 17:10. Actually, looking at the paper where Archie Maguire is actually from 16:55. He entered with a 17:10 from regionals earlier in the year, but he has been under 17 minutes. So let's see if we can get under 16:55 here. I think we can for Archie Maguire. This is the 700-metre turn. We're almost halfway through the race. It's a lovely turn from Maguire. Huge push off the wall. Second at the turn, Charlie Morgan, 7:48.9. And then Janos Shepley. Morgan's coming back into this race in lane 4, but he's not swimming as fast as our leader, Archie Maguire. This is the halfway turn. $8.17 at the turn. Holt turned about now from the previous heat, so you can see from that he would be comfortably in second place if he was swimming against these swimmers. We do have a 15-year-old to come in our next heat. It's always slightly difficult to predict because sometimes swimmers don't compete and then it just changes the list on the rankings. But this is Archie Maguire pushing for a medal. This will be the 850-metre turn for Maguire. He's got a very steady pace, turning there in 9:25.01. It's about 3 seconds quicker than Tom Holt was at that turn. We want to be at this turn at about 9:58.5 really for Maguire to show that he's keeping up his pace. 9:59.07, just slipping at half a second on that 50. And Charlie Morgan closed the gap over that last 50 metres. Charlie Morgan, remember, is in the 16-year-old age group, so not the same age group as Maguire. Keep an eye on these times. We need to be under 10:33 really at this turn, otherwise that would be a sign that Archie is slowing up a little. 10:33, get under 10:33 at this turn. Just about on pace, 10:33.08. He's just tiring a little bit now, Maguire. And Charlie Morgan is coming back about 0.3 of a second per 50 at the moment. Coming in again then to the wall. You want to be under 11.06 really, or 11.07 at this turn, rather. 11.07.23. Yeah, Archie Maguire is slightly slowing. It's fractional. And Charlie Morgan, when you look at those splits, he's just closing the gap very, very slightly. We've still got 475 metres to go. Maguire needs to hold on to this pace. At this turn then, we want to be under 11.41. Oh, it's 11.41.4, and I think that's a sign that things are just slowing up, and Charlie Morgan closes again over that last 50. It's fractional, but there's still a long way to go. Maguire, can he find that rhythm again? Can he find that pace? Needs to be 12.15 at this turn, and it's 12.15.4. That was a little bit quicker for Maguire over that last 50. There's a tired turn there from Charlie Morgan. Charlie Morgan is also showing signs that he is tiring. We've still got 7.5 lengths for our leader to go, Archie Maguire. 7 lengths left after this turn. So turning there in 12.49. Tom Holt would turn now about 12.52 in the previous heat. So Tom Holt would be second in this heat. Archie Maguire out in front. Still, and trying to get under 16.55 for a personal best time. He's definitely on course for that, but he can't afford to tire. If he does, he won't swim as quick as his personal best time. 13.23 at that turn. We're looking at something like 16.47 probably for Archie Maguire. We will have 250 metres left at the next turn. 5 more lengths of the pool at this turn. Maguire then, 13.57.75. He is slowing up a little. Charlie Morgan also getting a little bit slower in second place. And I would say now Maguire is slipping back towards that 16.50 time that his teammate Tom Holt set in the previous heat. .200 metres to go. Tom Holt would turn now if he was in this heat. So you can see there's still a significant gap between Maguire and Holt. So it does look like Maguire is going to set the fastest time so far for 15-year-old swimmers. And And if he does that, it will be a personal best time. 3 lengths of the pool to go. 15:05.84. Maguire starting to accelerate a little bit. He's starting to increase the pace now. Two and a half lengths to go. We're looking for a time under 16:50 here for Archie Maguire. To get that at this turn, he really needs to be at 15:42 or thereabouts. Let's have a look. He'll be under 15:42 comfortably. Tom Holt from the previous heat would have turned just about now. That gives you an indication of the gap between Maguire and Holt. So, Maguire is going to set the fastest time for a 15-year-old so far. This is a potential medal swim with 4 15-year-old swimmers still to come after this heat. 16:13.58. Let's see what time he can achieve then. Archie Maguire's PB is 16:55.48. He's going to beat that. 16:55 is going to be beaten. He's probably going to beat his teammate Tom Holt, who set 16:50.6 from the previous heat. Watch the clock. It's 16:50 is the time to beat here for Archie Maguire to put himself in first place in the standings. Under 16:50 is the target. He's going to do that quite comfortably. And it is 16:46.18 for Archie Maguire. A 9-second PB. Well done. Charlie Morgan comes in second in the 16-year age group. 16:54.38 there for Charlie. That's his first swim under 17 minutes. Great PB. Janos Shepley also under 17 minutes. First time he's done that. So 3 swimmers there with personal best times. Aaron Kane, 17.02 in fourth place, a 2-second PB. Harry Osborne, 17.05, not quite a PB. Our first 4 swimmers there, all with personal best times. Samuel Ruff coming in there in 17.19. But our first 4 swimmers all swimming personal best times. Well done to all of them. And we will make a note of that time from Archie Maguire, 16:46.18. That is the leading time now for 18-year-olds. For 15-year-olds, I should say. And we still have 4 15-year-olds to swim. So well done to the first 4 swimmers in particular in that heat. All recording personal best times. Archie Maguire, Charlie Morgan, Janos Shepley, who goes into third place in the 15-year-old standings there with that time, and Aaron Kane, all with personal bests. On to heat number 5. So our swimmers in Heat 5, from the top of the picture, that's Harry Jaggerts for Wickham. Then Will Hewitt for Middlesbrough. In the yellow cap there for Bassett Law, that's Samuel Green. Then one lane closer to us, Alexander Clark for Scottish non-residential. And then in lane 5, Andrew Patterson, City of Glasgow. Alexander Brown is in 4 for Alnwick Dolphin. Then in 3, Ewan Kane for Erith and District. In 2, Connor Mintz for Basildon and Phoenix. In lane 1, Joshua Hutchinson for Woking. And closest to us is Keir Stormonth for Hearts of Midlothian. We have 1 15-year-old swimmer in this heat, 2 lanes from the bottom. Our leader here, Joshua Hutchinson. So he is in the 15-year age group and in effect is swimming against Archie Maguire from the previous heat. And Joshua Hutchinson is probably the only swimmer in this heat who we would be expecting to challenge for a medal in their age group. So regardless of what happens elsewhere in this heat, we will keep a very close eye on Joshua Hutchinson's times. he is trying to beat the time that was set in the previous heat, of course, by Archie Maguire. So we will keep our eyes fixed on the clock as we progress. Our leader, Hutchinson, 1:32.68 at the turn. And then as things settle down now, we get to the 200-metre mark. Hutchinson turning then in 2:06.3. In the previous heat at that turn, Archie Maguire swam 2:07.24. So Hutchinson's about a second ahead at the moment of that time. Long way to go. Lots can happen, but that just gives us an idea of how things are starting to arrange themselves. Hutchinson, 2:39.74, remains about 1 second ahead of Archie Maguire from the previous heat. Coming up now then to the 300-metre mark. And remember, swimmers elsewhere in the pool here. We have swimmers in the 16-year-old age group. They are Harry Jaggett on the far side of the pool, Samuel Green in lane 7, Andrew Patterson in 5, Alexander Brown in 4, and Ewan Kane in 3. They're all in the 16-year-old age group. We've only had one 16-year-old swim so far. That was Charlie Morgan in the previous heat. So we'll keep you up to date on the 16-year-olds progression as well as we make our way through this heat. But our leader here, Joshua Hutchinson, let's keep an eye on his time at this turn. So Hutchinson there, 3:46.88 seconds. And that's 7/10 of a second quicker, 3/4 of a second quicker than Archie Maguire was in the previous heat. So the gap between Hutchinson and Maguire is actually closing. It's only fractions, but it is closing. 400 metres then. Hutchinson turning. Maguire, well, they're almost side by side now in terms of their split times. 4:21.03 from Hutchinson, and Maguire was around that sort of pace himself in that last heat. So it really is going to be a race now for us watching between Hutchinson and the clock, and then we'll be keeping an eye on whether Hutchinson or possibly Maguire from the last heat might be on pace for a medal swim. Hutchinson turning then in 4:55.17 seconds there. Second at that turn, Andrew Patterson, 4:47.15. And we're coming up now to 500 metres. Keep an eye on that clock then. Maguire would turn now, and he would just be ahead of Hutchinson if they were side by side in the pool. So Hutchinson has just slipped behind Archie Maguire in terms of their split times. And other swimmers now also closing the gap. Joshua Hutchinson's got a PB of 16:57.16 in this event. And the gap between Hutchinson and the rest is closing. Andrew Patterson and Ewan Kane are coming back into this race, and they're in the 16-year-old age group. Maguire turn now, so he would have opened up a gap of over a second on Hutchinson if they were swimming side by side. And after this, in the 15-year-olds, we only have 3 more swimmers to come. Now, this is developing into a race now that involves the 16-year-old swimmers as well. So let's look at that race that's developing. In lane 6, that's Alexander Clark. He's actually in the 17-year age group. In lane 5, Andrew Patterson is in the 16 years. And in lane 3, Ewan Kane is in the 16 years. So our first 4 swimmers here in this heat effectively are swimming in 3 different age groups. Bear that in mind. You're basically watching 3 separate races taking place here in the same heat. And Joshua Hutchinson has slipped out of first place now. He's gone from first at the last turn to 4th. And that is a big drop off for Hutchinson. But now he's got other swimmers to measure himself against, and maybe he can find his rhythm once more. Our leader now then is Ewan Kane in the 16-year age group. We have 7 swimmers still to come in the 16 years after this heat. But one extraordinary swim from a 16-year-old swimmer in this heat might also push for a medal. Now moving out into first place in lane 6 is Alexander Clark, who's a 17-year-old. We're past halfway now, turning at 800 metres. Clark in 8:54.95. Archie Maguire from the previous heat, just to give you a benchmark. I'll tell you when he would turn at 850 metres, looking at the clock. Archie Maguire would be leading this heat. Archie Maguire from the last heat was turning just about now. So that's a good 5-metre lead over everybody else. So I don't think we're going to get anybody in this heat swimming under 1650. That's the sort of pace we're at here, around 1650. Now, in terms of previous performances for these swimmers, well, 1650 would be a personal best for most of these swimmers. Our leader in 6, Alexander Clark, his PB is 1651, so he's just about on his fastest time ever. Second of that turn, Ewan Kane, he's got a PB of 1652. In third place at the moment, Alexander Brown, 1651 is his personal best. So these 3 swimmers out in front, they're all right on their PB pace, I would say, looking for around 1650. Alexander Clark, the 17-year-old, leading in 10:36.42. Ewan Kane, 16-year-old, second there, 10:37.62. This will be the 1,000-metre turn, 2/3 of the way through this heat. Archie Maguire from the last heat would turn about now. So that gap would still be about 4 metres, I would say. But remember, this was around the time in that previous heat when Archie Maguire started to slow down. So the gap might close. Our leader here, Alexander Clark, right on his PB pace, I would say. Second in the blue cap then, Andrew Patterson, City of Glasgow. And third at the bottom of your picture there in the red cap, in lane 3, Ewan Kane. Actually, it's Kane who turns second there. Kane and Patterson, second and then third, are in the same age group, 16 years. Let's have a look at the split times. And I'll tell you when Archie Maguire from the last heat would have turned. He'd be coming up to turn right about now. So I think that gap between Maguire from the last heat and Clark, our leader here, has closed. Out in front then, Alexander Clark. He's got 7 turns left here, Alexander Clark. .1251.93 for Clark. Ewan Kane. And then Patterson. Clark is actually getting quicker than anyone else in the pool now. He is extending his lead. And he has 3 lengths of the pool still to come. It's not quite as quick as the previous heats as Archie Maguire, who's shown 16.46. Maguire would turn now. But I'm starting to think the way Clark is accelerating, he might get around that 16.46, 16.45 mark. Five more turns for Clark in this heat number 5 of men's 1500 metres freestyle. Can Clark get under 16.50? I think that would be the next target, really. He's on course to swim the final 200 metres in about 2:16. So he needs to be under 14.34, really. He's 14.34.3. It's going to be very close. It's going to be very close here for Clark to a personal best. It's very, very, very close. 16:51.99 is the time he's looking to beat. 3 more turns for Clark. Keep an eye on the clock. He's still maintaining his pace. 15.08. But it's not going to be as quick as the previous heats, although it will be close. This could well be Alexander Clark's first swim under 16.50. That's going to be the target here. Get under 16.50. It's within the realms of possibility with 100 metres to go. How much of a sprint does Alexander Clark have in the locker? Looking very steady, looking comfortable. It's going to be very, very close to 16.50, sub 16.50, and it does look like it will be a personal best time here for Alexander Clark. Into the wall then. Let's get a PB, Alexander Clark. Come on. Let's get under 1650. Well, certainly under 1651 for a PB. Come on, Alexander Clark. Give it everything you've got. Turn on those taps for this last 25 metres. Is it going to be under 1650? Watch the clock here. Into the last 5 metres then. Alexander Clark. It is going to be a personal best time. 16:47.47. Well done. Second place, Ewan Kane. 16:52.6. Just outside his PB, actually missing it by 0.4 of a second. Joshua Hutchinson, 16:52.77, a 5-second PB there for Joshua. And it puts him in second place in the 15 years age group. Archie Maguire is still leading the 15 years age group. And we have 3 swimmers to come in that age group. So the medals will start to be decided in our next heat. 4th place there was Harry Jago. 16:54.75, a 5-second PB for Harry. Connor Mintz in 5th, 16:54.91. He has been quicker than that in the past. Andrew Patterson, 16:55, just outside his best. But that's a very, very pleasing swim for Alexander Clark in first place, and for Ewan Kane and Joshua Hutchinson in second and third, with PBs as well. And there you can see the age groups that the swimmers compete in. Joshua Hutchinson, 16:52.77. That actually puts him in third place at the moment in the 15-year age group. On to heat 6. So our swimmers here from the top of your screen, that is Ernest Darkin for Dulwich Dolphins, then Thomas Smith for Richmond Dales, Ethan Knights for Team Ipswich, Sam Wright for Tadcaster York Sports. In lane 5, we'll be keeping an eye closely on him. That's Romeo Ball for Maidstone, who is a potential medal winner in the 13-14 category. Then we have Owen Brown from Newcastle in lane 4, Josh Miles for Bristol and South Gloucestershire in 3, Connor Aspinall in 2 for Warrender Baths. Then it's Thomas Sterry for Tigers in lane 1, and the closest to us in the yellow cap, Patrick O'Hara for City of Leeds. I mentioned Romeo Ball in lane 5, who's currently in 10th place at this turn. He is in the 13-14 category. In lane 7, turning 8th there, Ethan Knights is in a 15 years category. So he's 3 lanes from the top of the picture in the blue cap. So he is effectively swimming against Archie Maguire from 2 heats ago. We'll keep an eye on him for a potential medal. And then we have a 16-year-old at the bottom of the screen, Patrick O'Hara. But we'll keep an eye on times for potential medals as we go through. I would say the 2 main swimmers to concentrate on, lane 5 Romeo Ball and lane 7 Ethan Knight. They are in the 13-14 category and the 15 category respectively. So leading at that turn, Josh Miles. He's in the 18s and overs. Ernest Darkin, a 17-year-old, was second at the turn. Thomas Smith was third. He's in the 18s and overs. And we're coming up to the 250 metre mark, and this heat is starting to settle down. Ernest Darkin turning first. 240.01 for Darkin. And then Thomas Smith right alongside. So if you remember from 2 heats ago, Archie Maguire, well, he would be just about level with our leaders, I would say. Archie Maguire, I'll tell you when he would hit the wall, judging by the splits. Archie Maguire would turn now, so he'd be about second in this heat. And that puts him comfortably ahead of Ethan Knights. 3 lanes from the top of the picture in the blue cap. So as things stand, I think Archie Maguire is probably heading for a medal. It's Darkin, Smith, and then Connor Aspinall, followed by Josh Miles. Maguire would be turning now, so I would make him 3rd place in this heat. And now turns Ethan Knights. So Ethan Knights, potential medal winner, of course, in the 15-year age group, but just sliding behind Archie Maguire, and I would say Tom Holt as well at the moment. So we'll put that to one side. We'll come back to it later on. Romeo Ball in lane 5 is up to 7th place at the moment, and he needs to swim under 17 minutes to get himself into medal contention. So we'll keep an eye on Romeo Ball. Romeo Ball is in lane 5. And at the moment, leading his 13-14 age group is Mark Liakis, who swam 16:59.94. I would say that 13-14 medal competition looks pretty close, so we will keep an eye on that as well as we go along. Let's concentrate on our leader now. Thomas Smith out in front. He's in the 18s and overs category. And it's Smith leading ahead of Darkin. Smith then turning 6:32.19. And he is on course for something like 16:42, I would guess, at this early stage. Long way to go. Smith then at the 650 metre turn, ahead of Darkin, and Smith is increasing his lead. Josh Miles, by the way, going pretty well in lane 3, and also 2 lanes from the bottom, Thomas Sterry in the yellow cap for Tigers. He's coming back here. It's Thomas Sterry right at the bottom of the picture in that yellow cap. And he is starting to close the gap, I would say. At 700 metres, it's Smith out in front. 7:39.5. And this is the halfway turn now. And Smith maintains his pace. Ernest Darkin's actually got a little bit closer to him over that last 50. The fastest swimmer in the pool at the moment is Romeo Ball in lane 5, who's coming back hard. Turning then at 800 metres, Thomas Smith out in front. And he extends his lead again over Ernest Darkin. What about Romeo Ball then in lane 5? 8:53.65. We've got to keep a close eye on him for a potential medal. Thomas Smith going well. And we're trying to now figure out the timings. As we come up to the 900-metre turn, Thomas Smith then out in front. And keep an eye on Romeo Ball in lane 5. Because Ball is coming back into the race for a medal in the 13-14 category. In fact, I don't think there's any doubt about it. He is going to get a medal the way he's swimming, because the swimmer he's up against, Matt Liakis, would be turning now in his heat. So Romeo Ball is going to get a medal. He'll be guaranteed a medal with this swim in lane 5. So this is very good swimming for him. And we can then concentrate with 500 metres to go on our leader, Thomas Smith. And what sort of time could we be looking at for him here? Being pushed by Ernest Darkin in that gold cap. Two different age groups here. The white cap, Thomas Smith, he's in the 18s and over. Darkin is in the 17-year age group. Ernest Darkin's PB is 16:48, and I think he's got a chance of beating that here. And Thomas Smith, well, he's actually swum 16:25 in the past, which is quite an extraordinary time. And Smith out in front then, 12:08.9. To keep you up to date, Romeo Ball in 6th place is definitely going to guarantee himself a medal with this swim. We will then have to wait and see whether it is gold, silver or bronze. He's not in our picture very much. He's just coming into it now in lane 5. He's currently in 4th or 5th place. It depends at this turn, but this is going to be a medal swim for Romeo Ball. And Thomas Smith's turning on the afterburners now. 6 lengths of the pool to come at this next turn. It's going to be a race now between Thomas Smith and the clock, because Thomas Smith has got an excellent PB of 16:25. He swam 16:25 in winning the English Championships last July. So he's definitely got some speed in the locker. And he's still got 250 metres to go. And when you look at that PB, 16:25, well, you think he is going to finish very strongly, and that's how it's going. And by the way, Romeo Ball is now up into 3rd place in this heat, pushing for that medal in the 13-14 category. 4 lengths to the pool to come at the next turn. Thomas Smith in the 18s and overs, turning then in 14:22.4. We could be looking at something like 16:36 maybe. That's how Thomas Smith's swimming here, 16:36. His PB, remember, 16:25, but his season's best is 16:46. And that's probably the more relevant time to measure Thomas Smith against here. Let's get a season's best time. Looking very fluent now. Romeo Ball still 3rd place. But he came up 2nd place on the clock. Let's see. Thomas Smith's time at that turn didn't register. That's why we've got a slight anomaly, but I'm sure it would register here. It does. 15:28. So it's going to be a big season's best for Thomas Smith. Season's best of 16:46. This is the fastest 1500 metres freestyle we've seen so far today. Thomas Smith 16:01 at that turn. I know it hasn't appeared on your screen. We're looking for a season's best time under 16:46 here for Thomas Smith. Brilliant second half of the race this from the swimmer for Richmond Dales. It's Thomas Smith. It's a season's best, 16:32.02. Great swim. Brilliant second half there. Watch Romeo Ball in lane 5 as everybody comes in. Romeo Ball guarantees himself a medal with 16:42.34, even though he was 5th there. And in 7th place, Ethan Knights. He is outside the time set by Archie Maguire, but he's quicker than the time that was set by Tom Holt. So Ethan Knights goes into 2nd place in the 15 years age group with that swim. And we still have 2 more 15-year-olds to swim in the 15s. So Ethan Knights will have to wait and see with 16:48.31. Romeo Ball, well done. That's a medal swimming performance. 16:42.34. We still have 4 heats to come, so we'll see how that all pans out. 2 potential medal winners from that heat. 1 guaranteed. Romeo Ball in 5th place, definitely winning a medal in the 13-14 age group with 16:42.34, and Ethan Knight's a possible medal with 16:48.31 in the 15 years age group. Everybody else has to wait and see. On we go to heat number 7. And you can see we don't have a swimmer in lane 4. The swimmers we do have here are, on the far side, Leo Talbot for Bolton Metro, Jackson Crabb for City of Leicester, Dante Sinnott for Barnet's Copthall, Oscar Madrell for Isle of Man, Daniel Payton for Tynemouth. Then we have the empty lane. Then closer to us in the yellow cap for Warrington Warriors, that's Leo Craven. In lane 2, that is Finn Proud for Newcastle Swim Team. Lane 1, Thomas Rickles for City of Liverpool. And closest to us for Basildon and Phoenix, Robert Fenner. In terms of medal competitions here, we have 2 potential gold medalists in 2 different categories, because we've got the fastest entrants in the 13-14 age group. They are in lane 3, Leo Craven, and in lane 6, Oscar Madrell. We also have the fastest 2 entrants for the 15 years category. Lane 1, Thomas Rickles, and lane 8, Jackson Crabb. So we keep an eye on all of the times as we go through. Our leader here, Leo Talbot, in the 16-year age group, 1:30.54. Coming up to 200 metres then as the race settles down, and Leo Talbot is still out in front. And this is the fastest opening we've seen to a 1500 in any heat so far. Look at that, 2:02.85. And Talbot in the 16-year age group. We still, after this heat, have 5 16-year-olds to swim. So Leo Talbot is laying out the potential lead time for 16-year-olds here. So Talbot, the leader. Second place at the moment, Robert Fenner. Robert Fenner is in the 18s and overs. And as things settle down, we'll start to give you an idea of what's going on in the 14-15 age group as well. Talbot's lead is being closed. So it's Talbot out in front, then Daniel Payton in the 17-year age group, Robert Fenner in the 18-year age group, Finn Proud in the 17s is 4th, Dante Sinnott in 7 is fifth in the 19-year age group. Let's start to focus then on the other age groups. So the 13s, 14s, we are watching Leo Craven and Oscar Madrell in lanes 6 and 3. You can see on the bottom left, their times are virtually tied together at 3:50. And in the 15-year age group, Thomas Rickles in lane 1 and Jackson Crabb in lane 8. So they are only 2 seconds apart at this stage. So we're keeping an eye on potential medal winners. We could have 4 of them in this heat, quite conceivably, because this heat brings the 14-15s, the 13-14s and the 15s to an end. No more swimmers in those age groups to come in the following heats. So into the wall, it's Talbot, then Payton. So it's Talbot, and then Daniel Payton and Robert Fenner. And let's focus now on those other races. Lane 1 turning now, Thomas Rickles. And lane 3, Leo Craven. And in lane 6 there was Oscar Madrell. So lanes 3 and 6 coming into the wall now, and that is Leo Craven and Oscar Madrell fighting for a gold medal potentially. And then in the outside, not quite the outside lanes, you've got Thomas Rickles, 1 lane from the bottom, who is behind Jackson Crabb, 2 lanes from the top. So Crabb at the moment looking like a potential gold medal winner in the 15-year age group. So let's look at the 15s. It's lanes 8 and 1, turning close together. Leo Talbot leading in the 16 years category. And I'll remind you, after this heat, there are still 5 more 16-year swimmers to come. So Leo Talbot is trying to set the target for everybody else to chase in that age group. It's very close in the 15 years between lanes 1 and 8. Or rather, between 8 and Romeo Ball from the previous heat. But I would say that it's very close to call. We've got Thomas Rickles in lane 1 for City of Liverpool in the 15-year age group. And he is up against Archie Maguire, and I don't think he is going to get there. It's more of a race between Maguire from an earlier heat and Jackson Crabb. Okay, so we're watching at this turn, lanes 3 and 6. Side by side here, lane 3 in the gold cap, Leo Craven, lane 6, Oscar Madrell. both going brilliantly in the 13s, 14s. This is Leo Talbot, our leading 16-year-old. Our leading 15-year-old was Archie Maguire, and he is up against, from this heat, lane 8, basically, Madrell. And Madrell is leading that split. So, or rather, Jackson Crabb in lane 8 is leading that split. Jackson Crabb on course for a gold medal in lane 8 in the 15 years category, but there is a long way to go. Leo Talbot in the 16 years, leading, followed by Daniel Payton in the 17 years. Watch lanes 3 and 6. You'll see in the bottom corner, in lane 3, it's Oscar Madrell leading Leo Craven. Madrell, 7th place in this race, looks like he's on for a gold medal for the 13-14 age group. In the race between lanes 3 and 6 here, in the 13-14 category, we now have Madrell moving ahead, turning ahead of Jackson Crabb, of Leo Craven rather. The 1,000 metre mark, Talbot leading for 16-year-olds. Payton, 2nd place for 17-year-olds. Robert Fenner's in the 18s and overs. And in the 15s is Jackson Crabb. Jackson Crabb on course for gold. In the 13-14s, Oscar Madrell is just over a second ahead of Leo Craven. We have 9 lengths of the pool left to swim. Jackson Crabb in lane 8 is comfortably leading Thomas Rickles in lane 1. And watch lanes 3 and 6. That's Leo Craven and Oscar Madrell at this turn. Madrell in 6 is leading. And the way things are going, Leo Craven in 3 is probably going to get the silver medal. It's very close between Craven and Romeo Ball from the previous heat. Very close indeed. Lane 8 then. Jackson Crabb on course for a gold medal, turning there in 12:43.02. Our leader is Leo Talbot. We're watching here, Leo in the 16 years category. This could be a potential medal swim as well. But just bear in mind that there are 5 more swimmers from his age group to come. In lane 8, Jackson Crabb still on course for a gold medal. In lane 6, also on course for a gold medal, Oscar Madrell. And at that last turn from the previous heat, Romeo Ball turned in 13:23.04. So Craven is still ahead of that time, but just. So Craven on course for a silver medal in lane 3, the way things are going. This is a great second half of the race from Daniel Payton in the 17-year age group. We still have 14, 17-year-old swimmers to come after this, so bear that in mind. Remember, the medals are decided in the heats, so we're keeping a close eye on lane 8. Jackson Crabb looking like he's going to get a gold medal. Lane 6, Oscar Madrell looks like he's going to get a gold medal. You're looking here at Daniel Payton in the 17 years category. So Payton leading here in the 17-year age group. Then Leo Talbot in the 16 years, but watch lane 8. This is Jackson Crabb on course for a gold medal still in the 15 years age group. And in lane 6, Oscar Madrell on course for a gold medal in the 13-14s. And Leo Craven has just slipped behind at that turn Romeo Ball from the previous heat. So Romeo Ball would now be in second place in the 13-14 age group. As we come to the bell, the final 100 metres. This is a great swim for Daniel Payton. He's got a PB of 16:28. He's going to be very, very close to that. Leo Talbot going very well. He's got a PB of 16:27. We could have 2 PBs here from our leaders. Keep an eye on the clock. Jackson Crabb up into third place at that last turn. He's definitely going to get the gold medal for the 15-year age group. And he'll be followed by Thomas Rickles, who is currently in 9th place in this heat. We'll have to check the other results, whether he'll get a medal with this. And in lane 6, turning now, Oscar Madrell. And it's going to be very close between Leo Craven for silver or bronze. So winning this heat then, look at the clock. Daniel Payton wants to get under 16:28 for a PB. He's going to do that comfortably. Great swim. Also a PB for Leo Talbot. That's brilliant. Now lane 8, here comes Jackson Crabb to win the 15 years gold medal in a time of 16:31.44. And in lane 6, Oscar Madrell, 16:35.55 to win the gold medal in the 13-14s. Touching the wall now, Leo Craven, 16:44.04. And that will be a bronze medal for Leo Craven, which means Romeo Ball from the previous heat will get the silver in the 13-14s. That's a bronze for Leo Craven. And Thomas Rickles coming in now in lane 1 in 17 minutes, 0.53. 17.53 for Thomas Rickles in the 15-year age group. And that wasn't as fast as Ethan Knight's from the previous heat or Archie Maguire. So no medal there for Thomas Rickles. But gold medals for Jackson Crabb in the 15-year age group and Oscar Madrell in the 13s-14s. Well done to both of those. And Leo Craven gets a bronze medal for the 13s-14s with that swim. So well done to those swimmers. As we move on to Heat 8, there are 3 heats to come. And our swimmers in Heat 8 are Timothy LeBeurle for Beckenham, Matthew Sawyers for Wigan Best. Those are the swimmers on the far side of the pool. Matthew Sawyers looks like he's leading at the moment. Then in lane 7, 3 lanes from the top of the picture, Aidan Kearney for City of Liverpool. Then it's Jack Bamborough for City of Cardiff, George Daintith for City of Liverpool, Josh Denham for University of Stirling, William Wilson for City of Leeds, Oscar Govell for City of Sheffield, Caden Frampton for Millfield, and at the bottom of the picture, Henry Gillam for Camden Swiss Cottage. We have three 16-year-old swimmers in this heat. William Wilson in lane 3, Caden Frampton in 1, and Henry Gillam in lane 0. And between those three, we may well have a medal swim here, because there are only 2 more 16-year-olds to swim in the following heat. So every chance of a medal in this heat for the 16-year age group. And for that reason, we'll be concentrating on lanes 3, 1 and 0. And leading that race within a race at the moment, 4 lanes from the bottom of the screen, is William Wilson for City of Leeds. Bear in mind that these swimmers are competing against, the 16-year-old swimmers are competing also against Leo Talbot from the previous heat. So we will keep an eye on those times as we go along. It's probably worth saying that looking at the splits, Leo Talbot from the previous heat with his very fast start would be leading this heat by some way. He'd be turning, I would say, just about now. So this is not as fast a start as we saw in the previous heat. Not as fast an opening 200 metres anyway. So our leader is in lane 3, but only by a fraction on that last turn, William Wilson, and he's in the 16-year age group. The first 16-year-olds in this heat will probably win a medal, although they do need to beat the time set by Leo Talbot in the previous heat to guarantee that. 2 heats to come after this, remember. And at this turn, we will have 24 lengths of the pool left to swim. So a long, long way to go. 3 swimmers close together: Josh Denham, William Wilson, Oscar Gavell at that turn in 3 separate age groups. Denham in the 18s and overs, Wilson in the 16 years, and Oscar Gavell in the 17 years. Very smooth swimming this from everyone. In the previous heats, Leo Talbot would be turning now. So these 3 leading swimmers have overtaken the pace that was set early on by Leo Talbot in the previous heat. These 3 swimmers, the fastest we've seen so far. And this could well be a medal-winning swim in the middle of these 3 for William Wilson, the 16-year-old from City of Leeds. Very long strokes, particularly from Oscar Gavell, the nearest to us of these 3 leading swimmers. Really gliding with that leading hand. But the best turn there undoubtedly came from Josh Denham in lane 4. So we've got the smooth swimming style of Oscar Gavell, closest to us of these 3. You've got the really strong turns from Josh Denham, and you've got William Wilson in between them with a real fighting stroke, I would say. I would call that a fighting stroke. Look at that, another great turn from Denham, holding on to the pace that he gets off the wall. Looks effortless from Josh Denham at the moment, the leader. Very smooth, very efficient. But we know when you're in the pool, it doesn't feel effortless. It may look that way, but every sinew is being strained. It takes an awful lot of effort to look as effortless as that. So we'll be at 600 metres at the next turn. Denham, Gavell and Wilson. Looks like they'll turn in that order again. Wilson actually just got ahead of Gavell on the wall by 3/100ths, but it was a much better turn from Gavell, much better push from the wall. And it's worth remembering, of course, when you look at a heat like this, from the previous heat, swimmers get faster and faster as the heats go on. We tend to commentate on the swimmers who are leading the races, leading the heats. But quite often you'll find even the slowest swimmer in the next heat is even quicker than the fastest swimmer in the heat before. It doesn't quite work like that in these long distance races, but by and large, that is how it should work. So we really have to take our hats off to all of the swimmers who qualify, all of them who compete. We can't really focus on all 10 swimmers when we commentate on every heat, but every single swimmer who has qualified for this competition is in the top echelon of swimmers in Britain. Being part of this competition is a real achievement. Getting medals, getting into finals, they are even bigger achievements, yes, but everybody, every swimmer you will see over the course of this week is of the very, very highest standard in Britain. And by coming and competing at these championships, everyone is learning how they can turn up at a championships and make sure they deliver their best on the day. Because that is a real challenge for everybody to make sure they swim at their very, very best at competitions. Well, there's no sign of William Wilson in the middle of these three being left behind. We're past the halfway mark now, and that means that William Wilson is on course for a medal swim. And these three have really got into a rhythm. 700 metres to go. And they'll want to keep it just like this. Nobody will want to be left behind. That's what we'll be looking for now. Any signs that any one of these swimmers is either starting to tire or possibly starting to accelerate, as possibly Oscar Gavell is here. They're both swimming around 65, or all three are swimming around 65 seconds for 100 metres. Timothy LeBurle in fourth place. He's not in the picture at the moment. He's at the top of he's on the far side of the pool. He is swimming at the same pace as these three swimmers. The gap between third and fourth isn't really changing. He just creeps into our picture there. That's LeBurle at the top of the picture, swimming just as fast. He's not being left behind. The gap isn't really opening between third and fourth, not by much anyway. In fact, if you really study the splits, the gap between third and fourth there closed very slightly at that last turn. We have 11 more turns for these swimmers. It's Gavell, then Wilson, then Denham. But really, those three swimmers, the gaps between them hardly changed over that last 50. Timothy LeBurle did go a little bit slower there. So the gap between third and fourth is just creaking open now. This is a great swim for all three of these swimmers. 10 lengths to go. 2/3 of the way through the race. Let's look at PBs here. Josh Denham has got the fastest season's best. He swum 16:12.83 this season. William Wilson swum a PB earlier this year, 6:16.09. And Oscar Gavell also has a PB from this season, 16:19.71. So at the next turn, we'll have 400 metres to go. And we'll probably get an idea at the next turn, really, of the potential finishing times. We want to be around 11:55 probably here at this turn to be on course for PBs for everyone. So I think we're comfortably inside that pace. We could well have 3 PB, well, season's best. I think we'll say season's best for Josh Denham because he's got a season's best of 16:12. So I think we've got the fastest swim of the year for all 3 of these swimmers if they keep this up. Brilliant swimming. And you can see, when you think back to some of the previous heats when we've had swimmers basically swimming on their own, it's a huge help to have someone to pace yourself against. Every little nuance of your stroke just improves by watching someone swimming next to you and measuring yourself almost subconsciously against them. You want to be under 13 minutes here for season best times. And again, all 3 swimmers comfortably in that position. William Wilson is definitely going to get a medal with this swim. Cannot see any other outcome. He'll be the fastest 16-year-old so far with this time. Caden Frampton and Henry Gillam in the 2 lanes closest to us, not in the picture at the moment. They're also in that 16-year age group. And at the moment, in lane 0, Gillam is around the same pace that we saw in the previous heat from Leo Talbot. So I don't think that is going to be good enough for a medal. 200 metres to go. And we are right on course for season's best for all 3 of these swimmers. We're looking at around 16:10 for season's bests. 16:10 would definitely be a season's best for everyone. Much depends on how much each of these swimmers has got left to give in the final 100. Gavell and Wilson now just opening a gap over Denham. Remembering that yellow cap in the middle of these 3, William Wilson is going to get a medal with his swim in this 16 years age group. So well swum here, William Wilson. And then we'll hear the bell. And we've got 2 lengths of the pool left. And I wonder who's got something left in the tank here. Oscar Gavell's gone to his feet. So he's going for it. And they are all now accelerating. As a rule of thumb, 16:10 would be a brilliant time for every one of these swimmers. Let's see what we get. We're looking to get under 16:10. For any of these three who get under 16:10, it's a fantastic swim. Josh Denham, the leader, I think might even be looking for a PB here. Dare I say, he swum 16:07 in the past. It's going to be very close for him. It's going to be just outside 16:07, isn't it? Into the wall he comes. No, it's a PB. Well done, Josh Denham. And that's 3 PBs for all of those swimmers as well. Josh Denham, 16:06.86, fastest he's ever swum, lifetime's best. William Wilson, 16:08.19, a PB by 8 seconds. Oscar Gavell, 16.0907, and that is a 10-second PB. George Daintith coming in 16:22 in 4th place. Timothy LeBeurle, 16:25, a season's best for him up in lane 9. And it is one medal-winning swim there in lane 2 for William Wilson, 16:08.19, beating the time by Leo Talbot from the previous heat by 15 seconds. So, well done to him. Caden Frampton and Aidan Kearney outside the times. Caden Frampton in the 16s and Henry Gillam in the 16s outside the time set by Leo Talbot previously. 2 heats to come. This is heat 9. Our swimmers in heat 9, James Boddy on the far side for University of Aberdeen Performance. Then it's Joseph Hall for City of Leeds. Aidan Anderson for University of Aberdeen Performance. Edward Evans for Beckenham. Zach Bourne-Whittington for York City Baths. Ollie Lambert for City of Liverpool. Reuben Thomas for Mount Kelly. Matthew Warburton for City of Liverpool. Adam Macaulay-Wright for Portsmouth North Sea. And Joshua Keogh for Bolton Metro. Now in this heat, we have the final 2 swimmers in the 16-year age group. In lane 5, Zach Bourne-Whittington, and in lane 7, Aidan Anderson. And we do need to keep an eye on those lanes, 5 and 7, as they try to battle with the time set by William Wilson from the previous heat. So William Wilson is their benchmark. And we will keep a close eye on that. So that is lanes 5 and 7. Zach Bourne-Whittington and Aidan Anderson. Bourne-Whittington turning in 3rd place there in 1:30.68. And Anderson in 1:32.39. So the race settles down then as we come up to the 200-metre mark. And our leader is Joshua Keogh. And he is in the 18s and overs category. Joshua Keogh out in front then. And then we've got the group of 3 in the middle trying to close up. So Keogh turning there in 2:32.35 in the previous heat. The swimmers turning 2:36 at that 250-metre mark. So we've got 4 swimmers here who are swimming quicker than we saw in the previous heat. At the 300-metre mark then. Joshua Kyo. Brilliant start. Look at lane 5. Turning there. Zach Bourne-Whittington, 306.79. And that is about 2 seconds quicker than William Wilson was in the 16 years in the previous heat. So in lane 5, Zach Bourne-Whittington is certainly on course to win a medal. And we also look there at Aidan Anderson, 309.42 for Anderson in that heat. And that is just slower than William Wilson from the last heat. So William Wilson at the moment could be looking at a silver medal. That's what he'll be thinking, looking at the way this race is panning out. Now moving into the lead, Edward Evans in the 17-year age group in lane 6, leading this heat. Zach Bourne-Whittington, 4:11.01, still on course for a gold medal in lane 5 in the 16 years. And Aidan Anderson is in bronze medal position for the 16 years. Edward Evans then 440.31 at that turn. And it's still Evans out in front in 5:11.51. And we haven't seen anyone swim as fast as Evans is so far. Look at that, he's almost out of the picture. That's how quick he is. Nobody has been swimming at this pace this far into 1,500 metres so far in these heats. This is a really good second quarter of the race for Edward Evans. Joshua Kier will turn third. Watch Zach Bourne-Whittington in lane 5. 5:48.33 there for Zach. And that is just ahead of William Wilson from the previous heat. It's going to be a tough fight, I think, between Bourne-Whittington in this heat and Wilson from the previous heat for the gold in the 16 years. And still, Edward Evans extends his lead. Brilliant swimming this from Edward Evans out in front. And Evans then is going to turn here in 6:46.05. Now, Edward is in the 17 years age group. There are, in the final heat, there are 4 17-year-old swimmers, or 3 17-year-old swimmers to come. So this could well be a 17-year medal swim. So we'll keep an eye on this time. We'll be measuring swimmers against this Edward Evans performance in the final heat. Keep an eye on some of these split times. Make a mental note. Zach Bourne-Whittington is still ahead of William Wilson in the 16-year-old category. So Bourne-Whittington in this heat, 7:26.19 at that turn. Wilson in the previous heat turned in 7:28. So there's a 2-second lead at that last turn for Bourne-Whittington over Wilson from the previous heat in the 16 years category. So this is very much a close race in the 16 years in lane 5 for a gold medal. There's our leader, Edward Evans, throwing down the gauntlet in the 17-year age group with 3 other 17-year-olds to come. So it's Edward Evans then. And what can Evans do at this turn? What sort of split can he set? Turning here, 8:54.19. Lane 5, Zach Bourne-Whittington turning now. He's about 2 seconds ahead still of William Wilson from the previous heat. But I have to tell you that Aidan Anderson in lane 7 has fallen behind that William Wilson pace. I think Anderson will be fighting for a bronze medal in the 16-year age group with this. Bourne-Whittington turning there in 3rd place, 9:37.41. In the previous heat, Wilson was 9:38.83 at that turn. So it's 1.4 seconds now between lane 5, Zach Bourne-Whittington, and William Wilson from the previous heat. Edward Evans. .32.81 for his last 50 metres there, Edward Evans. Turning in 9:59.26. He's just slowing up a little. We've got 1/3 of the race still to come. Let's have a look then. He's swimming 65, 66 seconds, something like that, for 100 metres. He's got 500 metres to go. So we're looking at a time under 16 minutes here for Edward Evans, potentially. His PB is 16:08.62. So if Edward can keep this up, this is the fastest he's ever swum 1,500 metres freestyle. I know he's in the 17 years category, but he won't actually turn 17 for another 2 weeks yet. Turning there in 11:04.94. Let's watch Zach Bourne-Whittington in lane 5. Over he goes, 11:15.81, and that is less than a second now ahead of William Wilson from the previous heat. So the race between Wilson from the previous heat and Zach Bourne-Whittington in this heat for the gold medal in the 16 years is going to be very, very close. It's getting closer, if anything. Evans, 11:37.86. We're looking at 66 seconds now per 100 metres for Edwards. Keep an eye on lane 5 at this turn as well. Evans, he's about half the length of the pool quicker than in any previous heat so far, Evans. He's absolutely smashing everybody else. But watch lane 5 here. Bourne-Whittington turning there in 12:21.72. And in the last heat, William Wilson was 12:21.84. So there are only 12/100ths of a second now between Bourne-Whittington in lane 5 and Wilson from the last heat. Bourne-Whittington was leading comfortably earlier in this heat in that race against the splits from the last heat, if you like. Here we go again, lane 5, Bourne-Whittington turning. I know you can't see it right now, but he turns down 12:54.74. And Wilson from the last was 12:54.57. So now Wilson is ahead on the splits. Vaughan Whittington has actually slipped into second place in the 16 years category with that. This is looking like a silver medal swim in lane 5 for Vaughan Whittington, but we'll keep an eye on that. Edward Evans turning now. 13:16.57 with 250 metres to go. Vaughan Whittington now turning in lane 5. Again, it's out of our picture, but he turns now in 13:27.62. And that is now 5/10 of a second behind Wilson from the last heat. So William Wilson from the last heat may well find out that his swim was worth a gold medal in the next 3 minutes or so. 200 metres left. Edward Evans, 13:49. We're looking at a time probably then around 16:55 here for Edward Evans, our leader. 15:55 for Edward Evans. That would be a really huge PB. This could be his first ever swim under 16 minutes. Come on, Edward Evans. Let's get under 16 minutes here. It's been a really good swim, and he's managed to hold on to his pace. Let's get under 16 minutes, Edward Evans, with 3 lengths of the pool to go. He's just holding on to that pace. I think he's going to be in that 15:55 area. Watch lane 5 now coming into turn. We're looking at the splits again. Lane 5, Vaughan Whittington, 14:33.15. Wilson from the last heat was 14:32.40. So Wilson looks like he is going to get a gold medal in the 16 years category from the last heat. And Vaughan Whittington will get a silver in this one. Here comes the bell for Edward Evans. 100 metres to go. He's swimming a very even pace, but he's actually slipping outside 16 minutes, I think. It's going to be very close. Vaughan Whittington turning there in 15:06.01. Wilson was 15:05.3 at that stage. So Wilson leading by 7/10 of a second from the previous heat at this point. We're watching Edward Evans. Can he get under 16 minutes for the first time for 1500 metres freestyle? Come on, Edward. He has accelerated. It's going to be very close. Can he get under 16 minutes here for the first time? It's definitely a PB. He's definitely going to beat the 16:08.62 that he set earlier this season. Come on, let's get under 16 minutes here. It's been a great swim. Nobody to really help push him along. Edward Evans, look at the clock. Let's get under 16 minutes. 16:08 would be a PB. Can he get under 16 minutes? Yes, he does. 15:58.77. That's brilliant. Well done. Now watch lane 5. Zach Vaughan Whittington. The time he needs to beat from Wilson was 16:08.19 for Vaughan Whittington. And it's outside it, so Vaughan Whittington gets a silver medal. Vaughan Whittington, silver medal in 16:10.59 in the 16-year age group. Edward Evans, the leader so far in the 17-year category, but we do have 3 swimmers to come, so there are no medals guaranteed there for Edward Evans. And Aidan Anderson, 16:18.63. That's, well, we'll have to check that one back for Aidan Anderson. But it's a silver medal for Zach Vaughan Whittington for Rom that heat, finishing in 3rd place in lane 5. And there is the result confirmed. Zach Vaughan Whittington in lane 5, finishing 3rd, gets a silver medal. William Wilson from the previous heat will get the gold in the 16 years age group. And we have 1 heat to come. It is heat number 10. Our swimmers in this heat are Dominic Workman on the far side for City of Liverpool, Aidan Turner for Newcastle Swim Team, then it's Thomas Trebilco for Swansea University, Ethan Kelly for City of Liverpool, Alexander Sargent, Swansea University, Rhys Grady for Stockport Metro, James Froggatt for City of Birmingham, Harry Wynne-Jones, Loughborough University, Luke McGee, Loughborough University, and Lucas Bryant for Maidenhead. And first at that turn was James Froggatt for City of Birmingham in 27.85 seconds. And at the 100-metre mark then, it's still Froggatt out in front, 58.09 as the race starts to settle down. And lane 3, James Froggatt looks like he's just a fraction ahead going into this turn. So let me point out then, we have swimmers here in separate age groups. Our first 5, 6 swimmers in that at that turn are all in the 19s and overs category. And we have 17, 18 swimmers in lanes 9, 8, the two on the far side, lane 6 and lane 0. So 5 swimmers going very well here. First at the turn then, Rhys Grady, British champion of course. Grady turning there in 2:31.28. And these swimmers all looking very comfortable, all in the 19s and overs category. So we would expect these leading 5 swimmers to be battling it out for the medals in 19s and overs. And then we have the race between 4 other swimmers that's going particularly well too. They're all going quickly enough to suggest that we'll get the medalists for the 17s and 18s in this heat as well. It's easy to forget how much quicker this heat is than the previous heat, as those swimmers all turn. The fastest swimmer in the last heat would be turning about now. So we really have, 7 swimmers, I would say, here. Maybe 8 swimmers going quicker than we saw in the previous heat. So bear that in mind. This is comfortably the fastest heat so far. And we could well get 7 medals won in this, or rather 6 medals won in this heat. That's a distinct possibility. We could have 6 medal-winning swims here. Harry Wynne-Jones turning first. Wynne-Jones leading then, and then it's Rhys Grady in second place. Third place at the moment, Luke McGee. And let's keep an eye on that other race that's developing between lanes 8, 9, 6 and 0. 8, 9, 6 and 0. So leading that race in the 17s and 18s It's lane 6, Ethan Kelly. Ethan Kelly leading in the 17-18 category. Second in that category at the moment, Aidan Turner. Third, Dominic Workman. And then fourth, Lucas Bryant. That's the 17-18 category. And that's going to be something we have to keep an eye on as we develop through this heat. 2 races effectively going on simultaneously. Out in front then, Harry Wynne-Jones, then Rhys Grady, then Luke McGee. James Froggatt actually turned ahead of McGee. And in lane 6, leading the 17-18s, it's Ethan Kelly. So if we look at the race for the 17s, 18s, Ethan Kelly, 6:44. That's comfortably ahead of the time that was set at this point by Joshua Keogh in the previous heat. But Joshua Keogh is a potential third place in that category in this heat. So we might only get 5 medalists from this heat because Joshua Keogh from the previous could beat one of these 17-18 year swimmers to a silver or bronze. You have to say at the moment in lane 6, Ethan Kelly looks like he is on course for the gold medal in his age group. No guarantees. But his lead over Aidan Turner is 5 seconds, almost exactly. So that's a race between lanes 6, 8, 9 and 0. Remember that, 6, 8, 9 and 0 are racing in that 17-18 age group. Leading here then, Harry Wynne-Jones and Rhys Grady. Rhys Grady's PB is 16 seconds faster than Harry Wynne-Jones's. So you would imagine Rhys Grady will have something to give in the remaining part of this race at the top of our picture there. Let's start to think about a forecast for the pace these guys are swimming at then. With 12 lengths of the pool to swim, 600 metres to go. 9:11.68 for Harry Wynne-Jones at that turn. I would put that around the 15:24 mark, something like that, as the pace they're swimming at right now. And 15:24 would be a PB for Harry Wynne-Jones, the closest swimmer to us. And Rhys Grady swam 15:14 in winning the British Championships earlier this year. Right, lane 6, 8, 9 and 0. Let's watch those as they go through here. Ethan Kelly turning in 9:53.98. So he's leading that race. Then we have Aidan Turner, 10:01.16. Dominic Workman, 10:10.14. And from the previous heat, we had Joshua Keogh at that point at 10:10.21. So at the moment, it is Kelly, Turner, then Workman in gold, silver and bronze medal positions in the 17s and 18s. But Joshua Keogh from the previous heat is very, very close to that bronze medal time. So we'll keep a very close eye on that. And the race for the bronze medal here is between James Froggatt and Luke McGee at the moment. And it's Froggatt leading that, 10:52.28. McGee then 10:53.18. 400 metres to go at this turn. And this could be a milestone for somebody. Rhys Grady now starting to put himself in front. 11:16.39 at that turn. Still think we're looking at something like 15:24. We're not going any faster than that pace just yet. Ethan Kelly, 11:29.56. Aidan Turner, 11:37.62. Dominic Workman, we don't have a time for Dominic. Oh yeah, we do, 11:49.19. And Joshua Keogh from the last heat was 11:48.97. So at the moment, Dominic Workman has slipped back to fourth place in the 17s and 18s. Rhys Grady then with 6 lengths of the pool to swim. And it still looks like 15:24 thereabouts, which represents a big PB for Harry Wynne-Jones, if he can swim that quickly. Ethan Kelly at that turn, 12:33.82, still leading on course for a gold medal. And then Turner, 12:41.6. Dominic Workman turning now, 12:55.51, and he's still outside the time, the split set by Joshua Keogh from the last heat. And of course, Edward Evans needs to be factored in as well. We'll come to that in a moment. 4 lengths to the pool left. It's Rhys Grady moving away now, but it still looks like 15:24 thereabouts. Now, Ethan Kelly will start comparing his time with Edward Evans from the last heat. So Kelly turning in 13:37.5, and that's a long way, a lot slower than Edward Evans. So Edward Evans looks like he will be winning the gold medal in the 17s and 18s category, I think. Our leaders then, Rhys Grady and Harry Wynne-Jones, and they take the bell, 100 metres to swim. Harry Wynne-Jones in second at the moment, but he's on course for a PB. Right, we're keeping an eye here then on the race between Rhys Grady and Harry Wynne-Jones for the gold medal in the 19s and overs. Grady ahead. Come on, let's get under 15:24. It's going to be a PB for Harry Wynne-Jones, whatever. It'd be nice to see some acceleration in this last 25. It's going to be neck and neck. It's going to come right down to the fingertips for the gold medal here. And they're both starting to really sprint now, pushing themselves forwards into the last 5 meters. Who's going to get the touch? It is Rhys Grady by 2/100ths. Then Harry Wynne-Jones, and bronze medal for James Froggatt. Now Ethan Kelly coming in lane 6 for a gold medal in the 17s and 18s, and that is a gold medal swim for him. We're waiting now for lane 8, Aidan Turner, and that will be a silver medal for Aidan Turner, but a bronze medal will go to Edward Evans from the previous heat, I think, for the 17s and 18s, because Dominic Workman is not going to get there. Indeed, that is how it finishes. Dominic Workman, 16:12.24, not as fast as Edward Evans with 15:58.77 from the previous heat. So we have gold, silver and bronze there in the 19s and overs for Rhys Grady, Harry Wynne-Jones and James Froggatt. And in the 17s and 18s, a gold medal there for Ethan Kelly, 15:40.79. And a silver medal for Aidan Turner, 15:54.61. So let's get those results confirmed, and you'll see the age groups then. Remember, the 19s and overs. So that's gold, silver and bronze for first, second and third there. What a race. Only 2/100ths of a second between gold and silver medalists. And then Ethan Kelly in 5th place there wins gold in the 17s and 18s. Aidan Turner finishing 8th in the 17th and 18s category gets the silver medal. But Dominic Workman not as quick as we saw in the previous heat when Edward Evans in the 17s and 18s swam 15:58.77. So Edward Evans gets a bronze medal in the 17s and 18s for men's 1500 metres freestyle. Well, that's the end of the action in the pool this morning on this first session of this week of competition at the Aquatics GB Next Gen Championships for 2026. We will bring you in a moment the presentations from all of those age groups. So if you're supporting a swimmer who's won a medal, stick around because we will have the medal presentations for the first 3 swimmers in every age group coming up in just a moment. And then, of course, we will be back later on this afternoon, just under an hour, for the start of the women's 1500 metres freestyle. So we will see you then to support your athletes, your swimmers maybe from your club or your relatives as they compete in the women's 1500 metres freestyle, which will be the second session here today from Ponds Forge. On behalf of the swimmers, I thank you for your support in watching their performances. I know it makes a great deal of difference to the swimmers to know that they've got people back home cheering them on. So it's a real pleasure to be able to give you the chance to watch them compete on this stream. And we will be here live throughout the week, providing you with the action across all of the events coming from this Aquatics GB Next Gen Championships. Let's go down to poolside for the medal ceremonies for men's 1500 metres freestyle.
The medal ceremony for the men's 1500 metres freestyle. 13-14 years age group. The medals will be presented by Field of Play volunteer Bob Cosgrove. Bronze medalist, representing Warrington Warriors, Leo Craven. Silver medalist, representing Maidstone, Romeo Ball. Gold medalist and next-gen champion, representing the Isle of Man, Oscar Madrol. Sheffield, please give it up for your medalists. The medal ceremony for the men's 1500 meters freestyle, 15 years age group. Bronze medalist, representing Team Ipswich, Ethan Knights. Silver medalist, representing the City of Sunderland, Archie Maguire. Gold medalist and next-gen champion, representing the City of Leicester, Jackson Crabb. Sheffield, please give it up for your medalists. The medal ceremony for the men's 1500 meters freestyle, 16 years age group. Bronze medalist, representing the University of Aberdeen Performance, Aidan Anderson. Silver medalist, representing York City Baths, Zach Bourne-Withington. Gold medalist and next-gen champion, representing the City of Leeds, William Wilson. Sheffield, please give it up for your medalists. The medal ceremony for the men's 1500 meters freestyle, 17-18 years age group. Bronze medalist, representing Beckenham, Edward Evans. Silver medalist, representing Newcastle, Aidan Turner. Gold medalist and next-gen champion, representing the city of Liverpool, Ethan Kelly. Sheffield, please give it up for your medalists. The medal ceremony for the men's 1500 meters freestyle, 19 years and over age group. Bronze medalist, representing the city of Birmingham, James Froggatt. Silver medalist, representing Loughborough University, Harry Wynne-Jones. Gold medalist and next-gen champion, representing Stockport Metro, Rhys Grady. Sheffield, please give it up for your medalists.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed the session. It's been a really great start to the week of competition, the men's 1500 metres freestyle. Join us again in an hour when we'll be back at 12:45 our time here. And that is for the women's 1500 metres freestyle session, which will be just as exciting, I promise. I hope your swimmers, the ones you've been cheering for, have swum well so far. We will see you in an hour for session 2.